Yeah, how you doing, man?
Great to see you.
Good week. So it's been a busy week for us.
Steven gave us Soya's Blue. We have 3 volumes here, very beautifully done. They're graphic art novels in the classic kind of art sense, not really superhero.
I kind of think they're like uniquely illustrated. They look like the really arty type of graphic novels. This guy has obviously thought about how he wanted them laid out.
A lot of effort and time is.
They actually remind me of a very unknown, well, an unknown artist now called Mike Hinge that I've been doing some work with my friend called Ivan Richards.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it. He was basically a kind of popular like Mad Men type advertising executive, but he's famous for doing all these kind of very like 2000 AD kind of illustrations in the 60s, 70s, and I'm working with Ivan in the UK doing this documentary. Ivan's doing it. Shout out to Ivan back in the UK. Ivan's actually been trying to research and buy up the artwork that's gone. So it's a really good documentary. So I'll show a link to it. We've basically been overwhelmed by the amount of response we've had online.
It's been a good response.
We've got loads of people on Twitter retweeting us.
YouTube is growing.
Shout out to Darkwave because their film is being seen by thousands.
Edge of the Storm.
Edge of the Storm.
Yeah.
And we did a review of that, so you can check it out. But that's being, we keep plugging it because we're such big fans.
Well received too.
Darren's going to turn into a big franchise, and I'm hoping to see it on television actually in the UK. I think it's absolutely got. It's definitely got space and it's definitely got interest there. So fingers crossed for Darren.
Well, it's a cool concept too, and I think that's part of what we're interested in is the independent creators out there working with maybe a limited budget. And finding creativity and doing all of these things.
And then when you go to a larger network and you've shown them what you can do on almost nothing.
Then you scrap it all and go straight to. No, I'm just kidding.
That brings me on to Ausland, an indie film I found this week by Michael Williams, and it's kind of post-apocalyptic. Now it's again, we kind of like to look for positives, not negatives in indie films. It's got 1 or 2 scenes which are just completely original. And I almost wanted him to make another 2 films just on these 1 or 2 scenes. It's also got this scene at the end. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to give it away, but it's got this scene at the end where the crew have made this incredible model, and we're big fans of models because I just think it lasts longer than CGI. Like if you can make something look real.
I can't get over how much I still am impressed with the original Star Wars and the models that went into that and the Death Star and the ships and everything, and that's what strikes me is like it can still happen. You can still make films like that, That's great.
We've had some
additional interest in other independent creators looking to share their hard work with us.
We've been approached by tons of people. Who's the comic people? Alterna
Comics have really reached out to us, and I look forward to more video reviews of a lot of independent artist work coming from that company, as well as their movie The Chair. I plan on looking at that and sharing that.
Next week we want to show people a really simple thing that anyone, like even if you're a teenager or you're just starting out, how to distress costumes but to like an industry standard to make it look really realistic. So we've got some gems of 80s like clothing.
Well, and that fantastic phone that you saw in the last video.
Because I think sometimes what people try to do, especially with like zombie films or like horror, basically they just coat everything in too much fake blood, and and actually less is more when it comes to that type of thing.
And not every zombie has to be the same, which you'll see.
Yeah, we've got some zombies coming up. Some of the stuff we're working on. Look at this. How cool is this?
This is just
Is this like hazmat thing?
This is referring to the hazmat. This is some concept art that maybe we'll give away. Come into the coming future. I'm always working on something. This is today's sketch.
I'm just bowled over by the response, and thanks to Evan from the Wastes from Twitter.
Into the Waste, yep.
Into the Wastes, sorry. And again,
I like the community that we're running into.
I've
here.
got a question. What are we going to wear for the Comic-Con? This is a big thing.
I think they need to help us with this. We've got some ideas, but
we've got some ideas, but we're going to put it out there. Like, what do you think we should dress up as? On not much budget. Like, we don't want to, we want to be
that's the whole
creative.
point. Let's stick with the indie idea here. What do you do on a limited budget that's creative? Well, we've got a lot of ideas.
And we're not cosplayer experts.
Nope, we are not.
So, guys, give us some tips.
Another film that's still looking for funding, Zombie with a Shotgun. It's interesting stuff. I know that I've been looking at a lot more horror stuff lately, but I still like horror a lot. And as well as, on YouTube, Gabe Cast. He's actually in the New York metropolitan area as well. He's got some really cool stuff on YouTube.
Going to do one shout out to John Hale that's doing The Conju on Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah,
it looks amazing. It's got 2 weeks left.
He needs his funding.
He needs his funding. Support it. It looks amazing. So he's got 2 weeks left. He's done really, really well. So go over and check that out. But until that time, we will see you next week.
Thanks for joining us.
Peace.